Welcome back to Top Builder. I'm Carr. I'm with Oliver from Jippi. Oliver, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Carr. I'm
Yeah.
doing well. I'm excited to talk about the app.
Yeah. So for people that are watching from home, listening to this on their ear pods or whatever pods they're using, Oliver is in Top Builder and he's building this amazing company, this amazing project called Jippi. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, Oliver, and then tell us a little bit about how you came to build Jippi. Yeah, go for it.
Sure, yeah. So I'm a software engineer by trade. I've been coding for about 5 years now, which is quite a while. And I've been in a few different industries, from education to blockchain to more recently Bitcoin. And you know, working in the fiat world, it definitely gives you some perspective about the stuff that's broken in the world. And it's always been a mission of mine to contribute in some way to the greater mission. It's if the goal is hyper Bitcoinization, then we should have tools and things that just help as many people as possible. That would be the ideal. So I started working on this project a couple of years ago now, and I was in a good place because I was fueled by a fire working at a shitcoin company, or I don't know if I could say that. Sorry, working at a crapcoin
No, you're
company.
fine. You're fine.
Okay. Working at a poo poo company and being motivated about Bitcoin as the only true source of value out there. It really lit a fire under my ass to build a really solid education platform, because coming up in the Bitcoin space in 2020, which is I think when a lot of folks were actually orange pilled due to the COVID mania, coming up into the Bitcoin space then, it was a challenge, I think, to try and find some good resources out there, because there's so much stuff. There is just so much content. And
Right.
I remember, I don't know what it was like for you, Car, but at the time for me, I felt like there was a sense of choice paralysis with there being so much content and so many books and so many videos and all these things. And what I think was lacking for me at the time was, an all-in-one resource that would give some really introductory, accessible, simple resources for learning about Bitcoin, and then actually give you Bitcoin as a reward for completing courses, and then tie that in with some social elements, because it's quite isolating, I think, to learn about this. So yeah, Jippi is my passion project, and I hope to contribute to orange pilling a whole generation of Bitcoiners.
You're doing it, man. This is amazing. I think, yeah, I think there's a big there's huge there's a lot of stuff you need to know to get onboarded into Bitcoin. And I think that's why the meetup
Mm,
culture kind of worked really, really well for us, right? Just all over the world, is because it was that first non-frictionless way to meet other people, not only like you, but to find your local Bitcoin hub and go there. And I think Jippi could be that for the world potentially, right? Like it could be what was to a lot of us in 2021 when the meetup culture was kind of taking off, and maybe this could be the thing that gets people who are like adjacent to that, who don't go out in public, but who are comfortable inside of these social apps and stuff. Can you talk about that? Can you talk about the social elements that you plan on doing with Jippi?
yeah, absolutely, and I can show some more in the actual app forms
Yeah.
shortly. But yeah, I think social is really important, and it's just we've come a long way from where Bitcoin education started, and you could sort of see the tools being used in 2020 with Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. These are really great mediums for people to just drop in and listen to some concepts and interact with community. So I think it's very powerful. There are earn and learn apps already out there. There's a couple. Wiser is one. Simply Bitcoin is one. And I think what they do really well is they provide accessible education and they provide Sats as a reward, but they don't do the social side. And so something like this, which combines the social with the education and the rewards, doesn't really exist. And that's the goal here, is to sort of become the largest, most popular platform for beginners to gather, to educate themselves, to earn and socialize. So it's definitely something that I'm passionate about. I know I'm on the right track, with
Totally.
this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to go though. But to just give some context behind the name, people always ask me why Jippi. It rolls off the tongue. It's obviously it's a nice, friendly, approachable word in itself, but it does actually have meaning. When I was searching for a name, I wanted something that was intrinsically meaningful. Like there was some context there, and Jippi in Japanese, it means actual cost. And it ties in so nicely to the actual cost of our debt-based money being inflation, which is as we all know, a hidden tax on the general population. So that's really the meaning behind that. And that's why it's Jippi.
That's awesome. I can't wait to dive into the app. You showed us the other day in Top Builder in one of our meetings, and I think a lot of us were floored just the amount of progress that you made, Oliver. Like me, I'm bullish just on Bitcoiners in general, but I'm even more bullish on Bitcoin projects inside of Top Builder, especially because y'all came from a really large selection pool and you made it to the second round, which is only 15 projects, 15 potential companies in the Bitcoin space, right? And I think what you're creating is entirely different than you're looking at it completely different than anybody else. So yeah, let's show everybody who's watching from home kind of what you got cooking here.
I sure can, and I'm excited to go through it. The lens I want to approach this through is really accessibility. I think that there should be an Apple-esque experience for Bitcoin education, something really easy. So that's really the motivator here, is to design something that looks great, it works great, it feels friendly and accessible. And so that's what Jippi is. So let me show you what we have. And you should be able to see this coming through on your end.
That's so exceptional, dude.
So the whole concept when you join the app is to join a tribe. And this is an online community of Bitcoiners in this space. And it should be scoped to a city. So we're in Austin, and there should be a tribe in Austin, or ideally one day a tribe in every city. And the goal of the tribe is to educate and to support and to do all of the things that Bitcoiners are great at doing. And we do that through what's called a gathering. And a gathering, you can think of it rather like a Twitter space or a Clubhouse room. So we see here, we've got a Bitcoin Mining 101 gathering that's already taken place, but we can join this now. And let's say there's a whole bunch of people joining this live. So if we join our gathering now, the room will start and the audio, I'll mute myself now, but the audio will play through to the whole gathering of participants. And then, so we can have really great conversations about beginner-friendly topics, and have some back and forth. There's a chat feature, so you can message the tribe head. But the goal of this really is to offer exceptional content that's easy to understand. And so when we come out of the gathering, the audio will actually be saved in an MP3 file. So you can see here, there's a previous gathering. We can actually play this.
Hello, everybody. This is Oliver, founder of Jippi.
And it will play just like a podcast. So it's
so good, dude. It's so sick, bro.
Yeah.
God, dude, it's so sick. Like, who's doing this? Like, no one's doing this. Why? Why, Oliver? Why is no one building this for?
Tell me about it. I know. I think the other guys are trying, but they didn't approach it in this way. They're missing the social side.
So there was this, and I told you this before, but for the people listening at home, there was this amazing app called Earn back in the day. This was like pre-2017, and it got purchased by Coinbase. But they then turned it into this whole poo-poo coin kind of onboarding thing. And I always thought to myself, I was like, why don't they have this for Bitcoin? So when you brought this to me for Top Builder, I was like, yes, like this actually works, because this has already been created, but it was for like all the poo-poo coins, but we've never had something like this in Bitcoin. Right. So yeah, dude, good on you for like getting it this far, man. Look at this. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the social side, which I think is what is vital in the space, and what separates Jippi from other earn and learn apps out there. But apart from the education, and the social side, we really wanted to make something that is as beginner friendly as possible. And so this concept of a path came through, which is structured beginner friendly modules. And so we can see here we've got a few topics. So much more needs to be done to be writing these regularly and making content ahead of time. But we can take through a few options here. So let's see. There's a Bitcoin for Beginners one. So we can tap in here. We can get a summary of the content, and then we can actually see what the topics are going to be. The learning objectives. And when we are ready, we can actually have a look and start our path. And then we can actually progress back to our path and we can see our modules.
Wow.
Now I've done these modules already, except for the last one, but what we can do is tap in and see what the structure's like. So we have some images, we can tap on the image, zoom in, zoom out. We can scroll down and you can see it's supposed to be very easy to read. We can step through different topics. Wow. And then we can finish our module, which will mark it as complete, which is what I've done previously. And now when we come to the end, and this is the really cool part, when we actually finish our path, we will be rewarded in sats.
What? Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? You're getting sats for this. You're getting sats to learn about Bitcoin. Who doesn't want sats to learn about Bitcoin?
Right.
That's awesome.
Claim our reward. We'll go to the rewards page.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
We have our rewards previously from completed paths, and it is literally as simple as this. Claim, and you can copy a Lightning URL into whatever wallet of choice, and then we'll send you the sats.
Lightning works? Are you sure? Are we sure Lightning still works, Oliver?
Lightning does still work, yeah. Yes, it does. It doesn't need reinventing. We're good.
For people at home, there's a running joke in Bitcoin right now. The Lightning doesn't scale or work. But look, it works. It works perfectly. Oh my gosh, this is amazing, dude. And you, so yeah, before we keep going, tell me, what did you actually build during Top Builder? Like what, because this seems pretty far.
Yeah, I've been clicking away on the keyboard for a couple of years in my free time. So most of the core elements you see have been completed already. But there were two things I really wanted to do on Top Builder. One is to build a referrals feature. It's not, the accounts need to be set up for that properly, but you can see here, we would basically be able to refer users by copying the referral code into the onboarding experience.
Okay.
And reward people that way in sats just by signing up their friends. So that's something I built on Top Builder. And also the next milestone, which is actually this week, if I can show you a little preview of what I'm building right now. The goal is to have tiers of education. And so what you saw was the middle tier, which is called a dive path. So what we want with Jippi is we want upwards momentum. We don't want people to drop off like the other apps, like Wiser or Simply Bitcoin. We want to handhold you through the experience. And so you would start off with a dash, which is designed to be 30 seconds. And then you would do a dive. So once you've done all the dashes, you'd complete a dive. And the dive is what you've already seen. So the more structured, slightly longer form. And then the designed, which is how we're going to start charging for subscriptions, will be something that's more tailored towards your interests. Like I want to become, I don't know, a software engineer and work with Bitcoin. I want to learn about mining and run a node. Like I want to do all these things, and that's tailored to your interest. But the thing I want to reference here for this week and the milestone is the dash. So if we were to tap into the dash, we would go one level down and we would see our dash paths. And these are supposed to be really, really quick fire, super simple, fast, Instagram story level learning.
Wow.
So that we can hook people in at that stage and just show people it's not scary. Bitcoin isn't scary. There is a lot to learn.
So bullish, dude. Oh my God. Like you're literally taking all the things that work out there in the normie world and you're bringing it over to Bitcoin. I think people totally don't understand how that type of, how do I say this? Oliver, that type of thinking is severely underrated in Bitcoin. And I know you know this, but like to have that type of cap at your disposal, like, dude, good on you, man. Look at this.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, I mean, I would love to know your thoughts, but I think that Bitcoiners as a whole get a hard rap, you know, especially the maxis. I am a maxi myself. I think it's the only way forward. But you know, the lens of I don't have time to teach you about Bitcoin, you know.
Yeah.
I get that, and that philosophy kind of makes sense at the beginning, but now, you know, if we want that bell curve, if we want most people to adopt it, we need to be more handholdy. That's how hard technology is made easier to understand. And so that's really, I think, important in this space.
Yeah, and this is where Jippi can help with that. Like this is software, right? It scales in infinity. So like, gosh, dude, this is such a good way of doing it. Can you have any more to show us there, or is that?
No, that's it. So that would be, I'm trying to build this right now and get this live by Thursday.
Okay.
So that's an audacious goal, but that's what I want to do. And hopefully that will see me through to the final of Top Builder.
Okay, so let's go back to the menu. And so I saw underneath there, or go back to the other slide. Yeah. So I saw underneath there you had $10. Can you talk to us about the paths right there, the $10? Like, what are you proposing there? Yeah.
So that's trying to produce a viable Bitcoin education business is a challenge. I know what I don't want to do, and I don't want to do ads, and I don't want to mess up the core experience. And so what we want to do instead is to approach education in a way that makes sense for people from a motivation standpoint. I don't know how most feel about education, but I really struggled in school. I being told what to learn about, being told what to do, never really sat well with me. So I think there's some research that shows if you ask people actually what they want to learn and tailor the education to them, then there's much more engagement and interest. And so what we want to do with the design pass is we want to ask the question, what do you want to learn? And so that will really just explode the playing field out to offer way more targeted content. And so if you pay $10 a month, you can go through all of these cultivated, personalized paths. You can talk to us on a one-to-one basis, book a call with us. If you, I don't know, wanted to go through a topic like how to self-custody, or what is Bitcoin secure, Bitcoin versus poo-poo coins, book time with us to actually get that hand holding. And then if you go for the Jippi Plus design path as well, you actually get more in sats. So there will be like a multiplier to multiply the amount of sats you get. So we're trying to offer a bunch of different options for $10 a month.
This is awesome. Yeah, I mean, this kind of reminds me, not so much of Duolingo, but it's similar type of, education type of content, a way to consume content on the education side. That's amazing. You know what this reminds me of? I don't think I've ever told you. So I'm an old man. Back in the day, no, I am. So back in the day, there was this app called Path, and it was, I don't know, you probably don't know what it was, but maybe look it up whenever you get a chance. It was called Path, and the whole point of that was to, it was supposedly like to try to get this, like to try to basically like obliterate Facebook. Just because of at the time there was like, it was when Facebook was at its peak, and there's tons of you had tons of friends and all this sort of thing, and you got lost in the sauce with all these people and their updates. But Path was a way to like collectively group people together in like a tribe. And one of the interesting things though is like your UI and the way everything looks in Jippi. It reminds me of Path. In a good way, because like at the time, Path was like a very beautiful app to look at. So anyways, when you get a chance, go check it out. I think you would maybe draw some inspiration there. I'm not sure whatever happened to it. Maybe they got bought or something. But,
probably, yeah. It's I have not seen that app, so it's quite funny that it evolves like this. I definitely think that universal consciousness, once you plug into that cloud of ideas, it come to you. So
that's cool, man. So so where can people get to this right now, or where can they sign up?
Sure. So we have our website live right now. It's jippi.app. And so if you go through here, you can have a little gander around what the site is and how Jippi works. You'll get a little bit of an quick orange pill experience
nice.
About money. And then if you go to the bottom, you can see some earn, learn, and connect stuff. But we will be able to offer at this point a registration form. So we are currently offering a wait list with a fairly sizable amount of people waiting to join. We're going to be going through that slowly, but the beta will be open shortly. So if you want to sign up, we will let you know as soon as the beta is open. For now, it's just a wait list.
Nice. And are you're gonna release on Google and the App Store as well? Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Cool.
Both platforms.
Nice, dude. This is an amazing job. You've done an amazing job. It's been cool to see your journey, and then also to see you in the lab sometimes, working. I know a lot of people are super pumped for you to get this out there inside the lab and the rest of the top builders. And man, yeah, dude, this is awesome. Yeah. So tell us about a little bit about your top builder experience. What have you? Has it made a difference at all? Do you feel like you're building together? I know you're here in Austin, so it's a little bit different than some of the other top builder teams who aren't able to come to the lab. But what has been your experience in the program?
Structure is so important with this stuff. I like to think that I'm motivated enough to have built something in my free time, which has taken blood, sweat, and tears to do. But there's nothing like releasing something that is your baby and actually getting people to use it and getting feedback, which is another level of crazy scary, but that's important, and I think having some real structure has been tremendously helpful, and it's really been like a catalyst. It's been an accelerator for me to come in to see you regularly and to see everyone in the lab regularly, to talk about the idea and just bounce feedback back and forward. And I just obviously have to say thank you, Car, for and everyone involved with Pleb Lab for making such a cool place to be, such a cool gathering, because it is a magical place. And having folks on this top builder program, folks who are really smart, intelligent, and equally as passionate about Bitcoin, there's nothing like it, out there. And I know that you feel the same way.
Totally. I totally feel the same way.
Yeah, I hope it spreads, and this encourages more folks to do something like this.
Totally.
This is the only way you should be building.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier in the stream, but I like the conversations that I've had with, whether it's VCs or other types of people who are doing similar things, like they're all like, how did you do this? How did you know how to do this? Did you? And I'm like, listen, man, like at this point, I've been doing this for close to 4 years at this point, and I just listen to everybody. And I give the users what they want, give the builders what they want. And I know this is the way forward because we've helped launch companies, and also like, I just want everybody since the beginning of Pleb Lab, everybody has always said, Car, when are you going to do something online? When are you going to, and I'm like, we'll get there. We're just not there yet. And I think once Wolf came to us and was like, yo, here's some money, like go and do whatever you want, but make it great, So shout out to Wolf for sponsoring this whole thing. But I would say like this is where great ideas come from. Like you give people who have the know-how and the means to do something, and I think this is just good for the space. So I think what we'll see more people adopt similar programs like this, and so there'll be more opportunities for more Bitcoin companies. Because when you put competition, you put Bitcoin on the line, and then you put a program that helps them facilitate whatever success means to them, like it's a no-brainer to get this type of Bitcoinization long term. Right. So I'm super proud of you, man. I am really bullish on Jippi being the one app that gets everybody onboarded to the masses, because I think what you bring to this specific type of project is that touch, that this look that it has feels inviting, it feels intentional. The other thing that's really interesting about this is like you have some of those sticky qualities, like you described it like, oh, it's like Instagram. It's like, it's like some of these other apps where you just slide over. Also, it doesn't help that you get sats back too. And then just from a business side, like you're actually selling right out the gate. Like you're saying, hey, we have a paid tier if you want that. And there's so many Bitcoin businesses that I've seen not release a paid tier up front. And so by you setting that standard right from the beginning, I think that's just going to put you to accrue revenue, not only short term, but in the long term, because what happens is you start with a little bit of revenue and then it just goes up. And then before you know it, you have a sats flowing recurring revenue business. And that's what we're trying to create here in Top Builder. So I super proud of you, Oliver. Keep it up, man.
Thank you. I will do. It's super exciting, and just to offer like a little teaser about where we want to go. I don't think we just want to stop at education. I think the magic is continuing to take people who have just learned about Bitcoin, orange pill them, and perhaps even enable them to become a builder. Actually, Wow. And so we would be looking at perhaps doing some a boot camp, an online boot camp offering, which would be more of a premium option that you could actually learn to code. Because once you have those skills, and you have ideas, what's the next stage from there is to actually become a software engineer. And then maybe you come to Jippi and your tribe, your community with an idea, and you pitch them for crowdfunding, or you pitch them for experience, or you pitch them for Bitcoin. because we want people to really step through from the fiat world, become educated in Bitcoin, become a builder, and start companies of their own.
Yeah, this is amazing. So I'm bullish, man. You got the vision, you got the app. As soon as you release it, a lot of people are going to use it. I just know it. I can't wait to see what it turns into. So one more time for the people at home, what do they need to do to get on the list? What do they need to do, Oliver?
Plug in jippi.app, so that's JIPPI.app into your browser, and you can register right now. We will let you know as soon as we have our beta open, and I think you're going to love it.
What are you expecting? Like, how many months are we expecting? How many weeks? Stuff like that.
A few.
A few? Okay. Soon TM. Soon TM.
Yeah, it's yes. We have a few things to iron out. There's always stuff to do and build and fix. So as soon as that's done,
okay, cool. All right. Thanks, Oliver, for coming on and talking about your project. If you guys are interested in seeing possibly Oliver in the top 5 here in Austin, Texas at the Bitcoin Commons on March 14th, 2024, make sure to get your tickets. They're on sale now. Go to pleblab.dev/startup-day and get your tickets. And you possibly could see Oliver get crowned top builder. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we have a big decision to make on Friday, but he's in the top 15. He's in the second round, so he's really close. So we'll see. All right. I'm going to end it right there.
Thank you.